see, we're all open there. Welcome, everybody. What a beautiful day. Reminders. What are we being reminded of today? The law, of course. But most importantly, persistence. You see, we have things we want to accomplish. And sometimes we may feel as though, oh, but I can't. It's too hard. However, if you know what it is that you want to do, what do? The first thing we do is employ the law of polarity. Recognize where we are. This is a reminder. Recognize where you are. And when you see where you are, now you can say, I would like to be there. And when you say that, the third step emerges. It shows you what you can do. It shows you what you can do. So if you say, you know, I just want more confidence. Well, how does a confident person behave? See if you can figure that one out. What does a confident person behave like? They speak clearly. They think clearly. They hold their heads up. They make eye contact. And they have those shoulders up and back and they walk with a stride, or what we call a swagger. Why? Because they know themselves. That's what a confident person behaves like. So then what can you behave like as a confident person? You don't open your eyes and say, "Ooh, I'm confident." No. You behave like a confident person. That is what you behave like. And what if you say, "Well, I just don't know how to be confident. I never had a confident role model." Well, then, how many people are on the planet? 8 billion. There's someone in there in the mix who you can recall or search. We like to use Google, don't we? So we get into Google and we say, confidence. What is confidence? And an image of someone or many people may pop up on the screen. The way they walk, the way they talk. Dr. Jordan Peterson, for example, confident. Why can you say he's confident? Because he speaks to what he knows. So a confident person learns. So learn something that interests you. You see, this is how you take yourself from non-confidence to confidence. By learning something and learning it and speaking on it, the way you walk, the way you think. Those are all characteristics of a person who's confident. And the more that you do them in spite of not feeling confident, the more confident you will become. But you have to be able to model yourself. So these things are not far-fetched. We don't keep saying to ourselves with subliminal messages, "I'm confident, I'm confident, I'm confident." We don't do that. It is one thing to hear the word confident, but it is another to know and have confidence. The same thing is with, well, I don't have enough money. Well, you want more, you want an abundance. How does money come into your life? You either earn it, it is given to you, you found it, or there was one more, I don't remember what it is right off the top of my head, but it comes, money is there. So what can you do to earn it? That's usually the first place we start, isn't it? What can we do to earn it? You can either earn it as an entrepreneur or an employee. So when you think about money, what does your body say to you? Your body says, well, I'm nervous, I'm panicked, I'm freaked out. So be reminded that what your body is telling you, your body is saying to you, this is what you believe about money. And then now you get to make the conscious choice to say, well, I don't want to feel that way about money. So now you get to tell your body what you want it to feel about money. Do you want to feel relaxed? Why would you feel relaxed about money? Because you know it's always around you and it comes from many directions. This is something we all know, right? So when that happens, Now we begin to say, oh, well, then I want to be an entrepreneur. So, what are you going to provide? What mutual benefit are you going to give? And you start to flesh it out. Your mutual benefit, right? What if you're an employee? Well, then you say, well, what kind of employee am I? Am I focused? Now, remember, you see what gets us caught up about being an employee, right? We think it's the job. That is not the case. You can do any job. It is your attitude about the job. Remember the way your body feels about that job. The way your body feels about being an employee. If you think, oh my God, I gotta go and work for the man. He's gonna take all my money and all my time. Okay. That doesn't make you feel good, does it? So if that doesn't make you feel good, when you walk into your job, what's your face look like? The same way your vibration feels. Sour, actually. And it repels. So then you start to argue with yourself. See, I don't like it here. They don't like me. Ah. And then we begin to have an argument in our heads. And then what happens? We argue on the outside. So the reminder is to do what? Find the reason why. If you think that a job is a waste of time, or you don't have a good boss, change your perspective. Use polarity to change your perspective. Remember, an employee, that's one way of money coming into your world. One way. Not the only way, just one way. And you can use that job to develop your skills. See, it's not about them. It's about you. Use them to further your own knowledge. Learn how to develop your punctuality. Learn how to develop your integrity. Remember, the job is a stepping stone, not a stumbling block. See, that's another reminder for us. These things may seem so, oh, but they're common sense. But when you apply the law, you'll understand why it is common sense. When we apply the law to any situation with honesty, with honesty, who are you being honest with? You. Because if you cannot be honest with yourself, how can you recreate yourself? How can you look at yourself in the eye and say, well, I don't really like that about me, but I'm afraid to be judged. Ah, there's honesty. And the minute you say you're afraid to be judged, you can work with that. But if you just say, well, I don't like myself, and what don't you like about yourself? Why don't you like it? Honesty with self. When you are honest with yourself, you begin to make the changes. But so many times we are exhausted from continually fighting all the time. We're exhausted. And we feel like, oh, I can't go on. This is where persistence comes in. My son was tired last night at about 8:30. He goes, Mom, I just want to go to bed. I said, not before you do them dishes. There were only 3 things in the sink. And he said, oh, really? Must I? I said, yes. Why? I said, well, you're arguing with me. That's one. I said, you don't argue, because that takes too much effort. I said, put your attention where you want it to be. It's on the dishes. I said, you're learning persistence. You don't feel like doing it, but it's something that must be done. Today it is dishes. Next time it may be something else that you think, oh, I can't do this, I don't want to do this. But if you persist in it and you get it done, not only will you boost your own confidence and your own self-esteem, because that's only a byproduct, right? You did it, you accomplished it, oh wow, you feel good, you raise your vibration. And then you reinforce for yourself that, you know what? I can do anything. And I can do the things that need to be done. And this is what he learned last night. There are many more examples of this, but you get the point. The point is, there are going to be things we don't feel like doing. We don't feel like it. Oh, I'd rather be doing something else. But then when you stop yourself and you say, listen, if I don't do this thing, not only am I letting myself down, Because it doesn't feel good, you know. When you set a task for yourself and you do not complete it, it makes you feel a particular way. It really does in your body. But the minute you do it and you accomplish it, oh, that feels different to the body. And now you know about yourself. Oh, I can do the hard things. They're not hard, are they? Not if you remember what Confucius says. Do them when they're easy. Meaning, wash the 3 things that are there. Why? Because then you don't have to wash 40. You see, do things when they are easy. Which means you've got to be honest with yourself. You're honest with yourself, you begin to trust yourself more and more. You know what you're capable of. So now that little tiny thing that you persisted in will encourage you to persist in other things. And now you develop the character of someone who is persistent. Someone who is persistent can be relied upon. As within, so without. These are the gentle reminders. Because sometimes we get caught up in the outside world. Oh, the sky is falling, the markets are crashing. And we get so caught up in all of that we don't remember to use the law. If all people are focused on the collapse, what do you think the inevitability will be? Where does the energy go? Wherever the attention is upon. So do you see how we collectively do these things? Collectively we do them. So what do we practice as individuals? We practice as individuals learning how to focus on the things that bring growth and expansion. And we also look at the law of rhythm. There's an ebb and there's a flow. Always. There's a rise and there's a fall. You can guarantee from the fall there will be a rise again. So instead of panicking and, oh no, freaking out, use the law of rhythm to prepare yourself. Because right now we may be in the flow of things. So use that energy to think and to be creative, to say, well, what can I do? Because it's polarity now too, right? You're using them all. If you look at the situation and you say, well, this may not end well, it hasn't ended yet. So find a way to use your creative faculties to get you through. Where is this coming from? Remember Joseph in the Bible? When his brothers didn't have any food to eat, but he saw and he interpreted the king's dreams about the 7 years of famine and the 7 years of plenty. And what did he say? Because what 7 years of plenty and 7 years of famine? Ebb and flow. So what did he do? He said, listen, when we have plenty, let's store up more than we use. So why? When the ebb came, they still continued to flow within the ebb and did not suffer at the hand of the ebb the way other countries or provinces did. That's why their brothers had to come to get food, because they did not store up in the flow. So you see, we don't panic in the flow. We reinforce for the coming ebb because we know it happens. These are the reminders. And if you sit in the quietness, you will know exactly what to do, because you know what the problem is. You know the impending thing is we may not have enough of something. So now you don't freak out and panic. You go and little by little you reinforce your supply. Little by little you do it. So that when the ebb comes, you still are flowing. This is what it means to counter the law of rhythm by using polarity against it. It appears, let me say it to you this way, you notice how you store up things in the flow so that when the ebb comes, you still continue to flow? It doesn't mean that the ebb isn't happening. It just means you were prepared. So it looks like you're flowing. I want you to comprehend that today, so that when you go out into the world, you are not tossed to and fro by the winds of change. That's This is the key here for reminders. Always pay attention to which laws you can recognize based upon the news and the things that you hear. You're not listening to those things to create fear in yourself. You're listening to them to discover which law is at work and how to counter it so that you are protected. That is what you're doing. That's what we do on a daily basis. And so if you practice these little things, if you practice these little tiny actions, you will find that you are always ahead. Which means, because this is how it is described, when the pendulum swings between ebb and flow, you are now above the swing. How can you be above the swing? Because you have stored up, so that when the ebb comes, you can still flow. That's how you are now above, looking down upon the law of rhythm and not affected by it. It takes preparedness, observation of what is happening. This is why it is encouraged to memorize the law so that you can recognize the law, so you can better utilize the law. These are things. But sometimes we sit around the water cooler and we talk about, oh my God, this person lost everything. Look at all these big companies. What's going to happen to little old us? See how that is not a wise use of polarity. Where are you polarizing yourself with that conversation? That's correct. You know exactly where you're polarizing yourself. But if you have conversations like that with like-minded people, now you can begin to plan. You can say, oh, okay, here's what we're going to do. I'll buy this and that. You buy that. We trade and we share. Now you're using the law of polarity to put yourself in a state of abundance so that you always have abundance. There's the difference of, what are we going to do? I don't even know where to begin. You see that fear? That is different from, oh, okay, so we know that this is happening, this is going on. Okay, that's good. That's showing us what we need to do to prepare ourselves. There's no fear in the second place. There's just understanding. So you see, the law is not just here for you to get the nice shoes and nice things. The law is here for every single facet of our lives. Every single facet. The ebb of our lives and the flow of our lives. This is why we use the law. Let us take a moment to welcome everyone into the space this morning. Let's take that moment, my friends. Twitter. Hello, Jeff. Lilith, I see you. Queen Marat, I see you too. Welcome to Twitter, my friends. It is such a privilege and a pleasure to see you. Queen, you go, girl. I'm throwing confetti. Yes, because I read your note. I'm throwing confetti. Fanbase, who's here? Toyera, Miss Ravioli, Andrew, Malik, Inkai, and CEO Digital. I see you. My Melanin Summer Rose, Shanice, KZ, Zola L, Miss McQueen, Yolanda. I just gave you the crown, honey, because I didn't have time. YouTube, who's here? We have Anot. Hello, beautiful. Walter, I see you. David, Sonia, the better man. Miss Ravioli. And for all the others who did not make themselves known in the chat, I see you too. And for the replay gang, I see y'all too. So, I won't keep you longer, but I will say this to you today. When you go through the day, remember the law always so that you can use it. Because there are many things going on in the world at this moment that are all vying for your attention. And wherever you put your attention is where your energy is going. You know this because you can rub your socked feet on the carpet. And when you rub your feet on the carpet, you build an electrical charge. That is where your attention is going. Thus, the energy must follow it. So, if you have your attention upon the law, the energy that you generate from the law is being used to fuel you. And when you are fueled and nourished and nurtured by the law, you can see your way in and out of any and all situations. Because it will show you, hey, this is what is happening right now. What do you want to do? And you use the law of polarity. Because you see where you are and you see where you want to be. And you begin to act accordingly. You will know exactly what to do. So then I will leave you with these 7 things. The all is mind. The universe is a mental creation. As within, so without. As above, so below. Everything vibrates between 2 poles, a swing, to and fro, creating a rhythm, an ebb, and a flow. Every cause has its effect, and every effect its cause. A projection of the will, masculine, giving life, giving form, feminine. Those are the 7 principles that govern all of creation. You, me, the stars, the dirt beneath our feet, everything is governed by those principles. There are no exceptions. None. Not even the one who created them. The all created those principles, and it creates by way of them. And because it's the boss, it does. Because it is. So, today, be reminded of the power that you hold within your, I want to say it this way, the power you hold within your bosom. Shakespeare. Be reminded of the power you hold within your bosom, your chest, your heart. Where is that power? That power is there to fuel you, to encourage you, to guide you. That's what that power is there for. And if you use it, and use it wisely, what's wise use of it? What is wise use of the law that you hold? Well, if the universe is a mental creation, what are you creating with your thoughts? Your persistent thoughts, the one you have over and over and over again. That is the wise use. Being aware of what you are creating. That is wise use of the laws. Being aware of what you are creating and what you are experiencing and what you are doing. So you see, the all has your best interest at heart. How can you be so sure? Because it's telling you that the universe is a mental creation. Everything you see around you, above you, beneath you, in you, outside of you, was created from a mind. That's what it's telling you. You have a mind. And it's telling you that you create based upon what is inside of you. So if you don't like the experiences you're having, change the way you view yourself, and the things on the outside must change because they are reliant upon you. There's no punishment in that. There's no reward in that. There's simply a knowing that you have the power to change your circumstances. You notice it didn't say, well, the more you complain, it'll change. No, if there's complaining within, you've got to complain on the outside. So be wise in using your power. Observe where you are, recognize where you are, and then decide, is that where you want to remain? And if you say, no, I want to be over there, then the next step to get you in the direction to over there shows up. Because it is just that simple. So today, be encouraged to know this. You have it within you. pens, soul of a man. I see you. Ties, tidbits, hey, hey. Remember that today. You have it within you. You have it. Nobody can take it from you, nor can they withhold it from you. That is the beauty of the principles of creation. They may have appeared to have been hidden from us, but if we look around, we'll see it. We can think. And whatever we feel inside sometimes, we speak it, right? As within, so without. We know that. We know that the trees have the leaves above and the roots below. We know this. We know that everything is moving. Your heart's moving. Thank goodness. The air's moving in and out of your lungs. Right? You're walking. Even when you're laying down, you're moving. So everything is moving. And we know that we experience love. We experience hate. We experience heat and cold. We know we do these things, polarity. And every single season contributes to the rhythm. From eon to eon, that is a rhythm. The roll of a dice is rhythm. That's why there's no luck. That's why there's no chance. You just have to keep rolling the dice and the pattern will begin to emerge. Causation? You jump up, you know, you gotta come down again. You know, if you spit into the wind, hey, what's gonna happen? Right? Gender. We see gender because we can procreate. But procreation is not the only way to create. We create mentally. So you must be able to, masculine, project your thought from your conscious mind to what? The womb of your subconscious mind, so that it takes root. And it grows and it brings forth the solid experience that you want. So there's nowhere around you that you don't see those 7 principles. They are everywhere. They're everywhere. So even though some of the knowledge may have been withheld from us, it cannot be hidden from us. We all made sure of it. And so that's why you don't need to believe anything I tell you, because you already know it. You know, when you go out and you plant an acorn, well, you won't get tulips, will you? You won't get a rose bush, but you'll get an oak tree from that acorn. It is inevitable. As within the seed, so must the fruit be on the outside. That is law, not opinion. So you see, you know these things. So start to use them. If you take a bite of the law, bring it down to yourself, because it's really big, right? But if you bring it down to yourself and say, okay, I feel this way inside of me, so that's how I'm going to behave. Okay. Now you personify correspondence. You say, well, I'm going to go to sleep right now. That's my bedtime. You're personifying rhythm. You are surrendering to the ebb of rest. This is how you take a bite size of the law. And even though you took a bite size, the fractal, that bite size shows you all. So today be reminded that you have it within you. And you don't need to believe it. You need to know it. You can see it everywhere. And even if you did not have the sense of vision or the sense of hearing, rhythm, all of them are still active in your lives. That is what I want to remind you of today. So let's not sit around and say, I can't. Let's be bold and say, where do I start? What can I do? That is what you do. That is a must. Because there's no one coming to save you. The all did not make you a victim. Because it is not a victim. How can it be? As within itself, it created on the outside. So it is not a victim, thus you cannot be one. Oh, but I can't see the all. How do I know it's real? I just told you how you saw with your eyes, what you planned. Even though you cannot see the all has no shape, no form, yet everything is formed. Look around you and you will see the face of the all. When you look into the mirror, you see the face of the all. Yours. It tells you, well, you didn't get here yourself. You didn't sneeze and get here. You were thought of. It is irrelevant what kind of family situation you may have come from. Not because I'm uncaring and unfeeling, but because even though you may have come from the bowels of the earth, or the mountaintop or the valley, it doesn't matter. The all says, if you see what you want within yourself, you become it. Practice it. As within, so without. You got to do it. And you are it. So that's why the all tells you today you cannot be held back by anything or anyone. But my daddy left. And the all says, as within, so without. But nobody cares about me. The law says the universe is a mental creation. As you think yourself, so you become. Tell me, is that not a beautiful thing? That you cannot be held back? That you cannot be trampled upon? Why not? Because the all tells you that you are magnificent. Oh, Angela, you just saying shit now. Am I? As within, so without. I don't make the rules. I'm governed by them. If I can go out and plant a seed and have it grow and I reap it and I eat the fruit from it, then I can put a thought in my mind to say, this is who I want to be, and I begin to behave like it until it takes root in my life and I don't have to think about behaving like it anymore. I have become it. And I reap that lifestyle. Tell me how that is not the keys to your freedom. But I'm tired, Angela. My life has been so hard, you don't know. I don't need to know. I know one thing, and that is what the all says with those 7 principles. I don't have to stay at the bottom if I started there. I don't have to remain friendless. I don't have to remain broke. See? And you notice how the law always will tell you, as within, so without, which means I don't have to hurt you to get anything. Oh, taste and see that the law is good, my friends. Taste it and recognize that the law is good. There's only good. There's only good. And for those people who have forgotten the law, that's all they've done is forgotten. Because they've forgotten, they act a fool. But we didn't forget. We are reminded of the law so that we can live according to law. So that when you speak, your words don't return void. That's what you have within you. So today be reminded of that. Be reminded of it. Walk in it, breathe it, eat it, live it. But let it permeate. Soak it up. And begin to reap the benefits of it. The all only made abundance. Man created lack because of forgetfulness. Because man forgot. But now that you are reminded, Now that you are reminded, act accordingly. Can nobody break my stride? Nobody gonna hold me down. Oh no. You know what I'm saying to you today. Nobody can hold you back or down. That is all within you. All within you. Countdown initiated. 5, 4, 3, 2. You know I love you. I truly, truly do. Twitter, I love you. I love you very much. And thank you for being here, Twitter. And you know, I always say bye, but you know where you can pop in and find me on YouTube. Yeah, I'm Positively Angela. You know, because sometimes the party's still going on over there. I love you. Much love, Twitter. Lilith, Jeff, much love. I did not see Matthias this morning. I didn't say Empress Ella either. Zenobia? There she is. Fanbase, Reacher, Malik, Miss Ravioli, Toyera, Coach. I see you, Miss McQueen, My Melanin, Shanice, Casey, Zola L. Yolanda, thank you, my beautiful darling, for your assistance today. Thank you all for the love. Thank you. Your sound bath is coming. Trust me, it is. For you subscribers over here on Fanbase, it is coming. Just gotta pick the day. I love you, Fanbase, and I will see y'alls on YouTube if you feel so inclined to pop over to say hello. Much love, everybody. Much, much love to you all. Fanbase is closed. Just you and I. I see you all. Let me pop into the chat over there because my iPad is available. So it's just us right now. But be reminded. Be reminded of what you have. Be reminded. You have the ability to call up any sensation that you desire to feel in your body at any given time. Because we are already doing it, just not consciously. But that's why we're practicing to consciously bring it up and feel it. Because when you bring up that sensation in your body, you're telling yourself, this is what I want to experience. And that is confirmed because thought and sensation in the body match. That's what you're doing. See, you have the capacity to do these things. This is what is fascinating about us. So many people ask in these forums, are we just here so we can suffer? And I'm like, well, that's a matter of perspective, isn't it? It's a matter of perspective. Yeah, but look at all those hungry children everywhere in the world. What can we do to help with that? Then we begin to see what we are capable of doing, right? When you start to use the law in the way that it was intended, you'll begin to realize that darkness cannot stand. The light engulfs the darkness. So when we live according to that, and we, for lack of a better phrase, let our lights shine, because that's what we're actually doing, we'll begin to change the world. But the world is because we are. The world is because we are. And whatever we allow to continue within ourselves, we get to keep experiencing it without, on the outside. There is always something we can do. There is. And that depends on each person, what you are inspired to do. So you see, then you follow through with what you are capable of doing. That gift, those gifts that you have within yourself. You are creating causes. You're creating causes. And when you create causes, every cause has an effect. So if you create the cause of prosperity in your own life, that ripples outward because it must. Do you see it? Because it must. So don't think that we don't have power. We sure do. So that's what I wanted to leave you with today, because it is such a great thing. And the more you practice the law, you'll begin to see it. You'll begin to feel it more and more, the greatness. You'll begin to see it. You'll begin, and you'll see it more and more. And you'll begin to do greater and greater things. That's what you will start to notice the more you are around the law. When you do little things and you accomplish them, my word. Look at the pride that swells within your chest to say, I did that. I didn't think I had it in me. But wow, I follow through. And that puts a pep in your step, and you begin to follow through with more things. So you can't be afraid. And the only reason why we are afraid is because we think it's going to hurt. We think we're losing something. Preaching to the choir this morning, y'all. That's why sometimes we will sit there and not do it because I can't. But be encouraged to know the longer you polarize yourself in the direction that you want to go in, the things that no longer match will fall away. Just know that. Remember that. Yes? Alrighty then, my beautiful friends. I will see you soon. I will see you soon. I love you and I thank you for being here on such a lovely day. Lovely day. Lovely day. Lovely day. So, Zenobia, Queen Morat, Aina, Ties, Tidbits, Soul of a Man, Pens, Walter, David, Sonia, the better man, Miss Ravioli, and I did not say long live Emanon. I did not say his name today. I didn't say Ultra. I didn't say Double A. I didn't say Mozinga. That's all right. They'll catch the replay. I will see you soon, my beautiful friends. Go forth and practice the law. Oh, yeah, practice the law. I love you.